Good morning once again. My name is Shola Jani, School of Consulting. This is the class 24 of the School of Consulting. And today we're looking at Module 2 as well as Module 3. So we're starting with Module 2, which is Essential Consulting Skills. These are the essential skills. Of course, there'll probably be more. There's no limit to learning or knowledge and application of skills. But there are some core skills I would encourage you to focus on to identify. If you have those skills better, you can actually hone the skills, make them even sharper and better. And if we mention skills that you probably don't have, then you're encouraged to pick up those skills. So those are the skills that will really enhance your work as a consultant. So I'm going to be sharing my slides. So I need you to confirm that you can see my slides. Please, can someone confirm that you can see the slides?
Yeah, I can see them.
Fantastic. All right, so we're looking at essential consulting skills as a second module. Last week, we started the training and we basically looked at introduction to consulting. For those who might have missed that, we encourage you to please go and have a look at that video on YouTube. So for every class, we have where we store it in. We have a YouTube page. And besides the YouTube page, every class has its own playlist. So if you miss any class or you want to go over what we have learned or we have taught in the week, you can always play the video back. So today we're looking at the essential consulting skills. Now we want to look at these essential skills not in isolation, but in an attempt to solve this business case. So what I intend to do is explain this business case and then juxtaposition the business case with the skills that we have here. And so that will begin an attempt for us to begin to use our skills and knowledge to solve business problems. Because at the end of the day, that is what we are, and that's what we aim to be as consultants. So aside just talking about the skills generally, I would like us to be able to reflect on those skills within the context of this business case. So I'm going to explain the business case and then we'll take it from there. Now, you are a consultant that has been approached by a printing company that is experiencing failing patronage and revenue. You have been approached by this company, which is a printing company, and they're experiencing failing or falling revenue, falling patronage, and of course, revenue. Once you don't have clients, it's going to affect your revenue. And this is what this company is experiencing. So they have now approached you to design and implement promotional campaigns to attract back old and new clients. How would you deliver this assignment? Let me say this for starters. When clients approach us with a problem, I think I mentioned it last week, be careful to understand, is the problem the symptoms of what the client is seeing or the root cause? So one of the key tasks that we face as consultants is deciding, is this a root cause? Or what is the root cause? As opposed to the client is complaining about what they can see. So it's fundamental as consultants to be able to differentiate between what the client thinks is a problem and what exactly is the problem. That's the first thing. Then the second thing we need to be very aware of is whenever clients bring, in fact, I'll say 99% of the time, whenever a client brings a problem, they also had or they accompany that problem with what they think the solution you should approach should be. So clients don't simply, in most cases, tell you this is the problem we're having. They also come up with a suggested approach to solve the problem. Now, again, this is where we've got to be careful as a consultant. And then this dovetails back to what I said earlier, that you must carry out due diligence. You must find out, is the client telling you to deal with the symptoms or the root cause? Now, the truth of the matter is if you deal with the symptoms and not the root cause, you're going to be back to where you are. And from my experience, any failed assignment, the client always lays the blame at the door of the consultant. Any failed assignment, the client is quick to point out the consultant as the cause of the failure. So there are 10 or so skills I want to talk about. So as a broad overview, I'll mention all the 10, and then we'll look at it one at a time. And after we have looked at it, we'll now apply these 10 skills. We'll apply these 10 skills where relevant to this business problem. Now, not in any particular order. Analytical skills, ability to analyze data, to carry out research, is critical for us as consultants. Problem solving. I mean, this is a problem. How do we solve it? And it's not just being a problem solver, but there are specific approaches to problem solving that we can adopt as a consultant. Obviously, as a consultant, you must be able to communicate clearly. Their presentation skills. If I one key skill in communication is ability to listen. Ability to listen. And this is very important in consulting because there's what we call ladder of inference. Ladder of inference. Ladder of inference, which simply means you get a few facts and data, and in your mind, based on the information available to you, you can come to a conclusion very quickly. It's called running up the ladder of inference. Infer, to infer, running up the ladder of inference. And it's critical that we always listen, and we listen very well. So a good skill to have for a consultant is the ability to listen. It's very, very critical. Ability to listen is not something to be taken lightly. So pay critical attention and when a client is or is speaking, basically, because as consultants, we run the risk of running to conclusion even as the client is speaking. I'm trying to, my screen is not showing. Can you still see my slide? Please confirm you can see my slide. Hello, please, can someone confirm you can see my slides, please?
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay, fantastic. So, you're having connectivity challenges, Rewan, Dr. Rewan?
Yeah, but it's back now.
Okay, good.
It's fluctuating.
Okay. So there's analytical skills, ability to analyze data, problem solving, communication skills, interpersonal and negotiation skills, very critical as consultants. And then most consulting projects, consulting assignments, we deliver them as projects. So project management and risk management skills are very, very critical. Of course, industry knowledge. You can't consult in an industry where you have no knowledge. So that again is critical. And if you have no knowledge, you acquire the knowledge about the industry. We also have what we call business knowledge. There are specific skills you need to be able to survive in consulting. What are those skills in terms of business knowledge? Or how do you apply business skills to consulting? That's another thing that we look at. And then how do you carry out your marketing? Marketing and service delivery. Marketing is getting the assignment, building your client base. Your service delivery is how do you ensure that what you promised in terms of your service, you have delivered to your clients. And then there's technical proficiency. We use softwares, we use tools, we use methodologies, we use framework. How can we use that? How do we use that in the assignments that we are given? And then we have critical thinking. You must be able to think critically, think through things. Innovation and decision making and recommendation, again, a very essential skills. You may have to come up with innovative solutions to solve clients' problems that you now recommend to them. So these are essential skills: ability to come up with ideas, ability to decide on which of the ideas you recommend to the client, and ability to recommend. We must always be careful not to insist on solutions on our clients. It's always good that we're able to recommend an array of solutions and then leave the clients with the final decision making. Okay, so those are the skills we're going to be looking at, and then after we are done, would apply as much as possible at the high level to give you a flavor of how to go about consulting, to apply as many of these skills as possible to this business problem. Okay, any questions, please? Any questions before I move on? Any questions? Any question, please?
Yeah. Can I ask this question or make this suggestion rather?
Yes,
Where a consultant doesn't have the requisite skills, since there is network, I think one can reach out to a colleague so that maybe.
Yes, certainly. If and that's good practice, and we've always advocated this. In the event that you can't, you don't have the skills to deliver a particular assignment, it's not a bad idea to find somebody who does and work in partnership with that consultant to be able to deliver on the assignment. Yes, so I very much recommend that. Yeah, I lost connectivity there. So please, it's from me here. So I'm back again. So basically, where I'm just trying to, where there are connectivity, where you're unable to, you don't have the particular skills, it is always advisable, yes, as a good good policy to work with clients or work with consultants who can help in that regard. Yes. Any other question, please? Any other question? Any other question, please? All right. So basically, there are 10 or so skills I want to discuss here. Number one is what we call analytical skills. Analytical skills. So once you're faced with a particular assignment, there are three things that basically you do. Number one is you break down the problem. You break it down. You look at it and let's break this down. What exactly is the problem here? And that's what we call problem analysis. And the thing you come out with, your result from your problem analysis are two things: a problem statement. So you would always come up with a problem statement. So you look at this problem. After your problem analysis, which is breaking down the issues into bits, into manageable parts. So that's the first thing you do. You're faced with an assignment. The first thing you do is you break down it into small bits so that you can come with a problem statement. So the very first thing you want to do out of this is developing the problem statement. Okay, is developing the problem statement. Once you've developed the problem statement, then we can now look at analyzing the data that we have. If we have any data, if we don't have any data, collect the data, analyze it. And then if you need to do any further research, in fact, if I let me show you, let me call up a board, and this will probably help in this discussion. Let me call up a board. I'm trying to put up a board. Where is that board? The whiteboard. Okay, you know what? Then let me go down that route. Let me do this. Let's do this. That will be a lot easier. Let's create a new page. So approach to consulting. Let's call it approach to consulting. So the very first thing after, you can call that your step one. The very first thing, once we are presented with a consulting problem, is to define the problem. You Sorry, my connection is not stable this morning. I'm trying to manage that. So approaches to consulting, the first thing that we have, once you have a business case or you have a consulting problem, is to define what exactly is the problem, to define the problem. So it's critical you do that. And the reason why you define the problem is this. More often than not, when clients approach us as consultants, they do two things at the same time. They tell us what the problem is, and they tell us what they think the solution should be. I'm going to be emphasizing a lot on this because this is where you get it right or you don't get it right. It's very critical that you have that understanding. Okay? Very critical that you have that understanding that most times, once a client comes to you, they could be telling you what they are seeing, not necessarily what are the root causes. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful. And the only way to determine what exactly is the problem is to define the problem, to break it down. Okay, for those who are joining now, there's an assignment that we're working with. We're working with this today, this business case, and I'm running through all the skills you need to be able to solve this problem. So the very first thing you need is having to define the problem. To define the problem, okay? Define the problem. Okay, so that's problem definition. Communication skills is where you are able to communicate your findings, your solutions to your client in a very effective manner. And one thing for us as consultants is we must have the ability to listen. Ability to listen is very critical as consultants. Obviously, once we understand what the issues are, listen to what the client is going through, then our ability to write reports and make presentations too is very critical. So presentation skill is critical. Report writing too is critical. So that you write a report in such a way that you communicate the findings. And there are sequences and stages of report writing and consulting. Again, we will come to that as well as your presentations. What are the key things? So I'm just going over the skills and then we can discuss the assignment. The other thing that you need is your ability to have good interpersonal and negotiation skills. You would be able to, you would carry out a lot of negotiations in maintaining relationship between the client and your consultancy, within the client and service providers, collaboration. So ability to relate with people is very, very key. Ability to relate with all manner of people at every level, again, is key. Empathy is putting yourself in the client's situation so that if you're not empathic, you can't help. If you're not sympathetic, you won't understand what the client is going through. So you must be able to put yourself in the client's shoes so you can see things from the client's perspective. It's very, very critical in consulting. Because if you don't sit in the client's seat, or you don't wear the client's shoe, you wouldn't know, or you wouldn't appreciate, you might not appreciate the level of problem that they are facing. Another critical skill is project management. Every consulting assignment is regarded as a project. So your ability to, your project management skills will come to fore when you are delivering consulting assignments. Okay, this is very critical. We're going to go through all of this in the training. Industry knowledge. Again, if you cannot consult for an industry if you don't know the industry. And somebody asked the question, well, what if I don't know the industry? Find someone that knows the industry, or do your research about the industry. For instance, the assignment that we're looking at this morning is a printing company. You cannot consult effectively without knowing about the intricacies of the printing company. In fact, one of the things that we do in consulting is once you get an assignment, you do competition analysis. You look at the industry, you look at the markets, you look at the players. Now, without you understanding the industry, you are not doing the client a great favor. So I really appeal to you, any assignment you pick up, if you don't have the skills, find someone that has the skills to work with, because you're going to be doing market analysis. Where are you going to get your best practices from if you don't understand the best practices that relate to the client's project? So your industry knowledge is extremely key. Business knowledge, the contracts, the financing, the pricing, the terms of reference, all of these things are very key in any consulting assignment. What model are you using as a consultant to deliver your services? What frameworks are you using? All of these things are very, very key as far as consulting is concerned. Sales and marketing. Now, the good thing about consulting is this: there are two dimensions to consulting. Number one is consulting itself, and then secondly is the business side of consulting. Now, you cannot succeed as a consultant if you don't know the business side of consulting. Okay? If you don't understand the business side of consulting. 1 minute, please. So you must understand the business side of consulting. And this is all in marketing and service delivery. How about technical proficiency? There are tools that we use in consulting. There are project management tools. There are industry-specific tools in consulting. Are you aware of those tools? Data visualization. How do you create visuals from the data? Because we deal with a lot of data. People say a picture or a video speaks 1,000, communicates faster than words. So as consultants, we must be able to visualize. We must be able to visualize our data. Are you aware of such tools? Again, those are kind of things we're going to be looking at. Methodologies, methods of delivering consulting assignments, again, are something that you need to be proficient in delivering your assignment. Critical thinking. Very, very critical for us in consultants, especially when it comes to long-term plans and short-term plans. Your long-term plans are first determined, and then you can break down into short terms. So it's critical that we're able to think strategically over the long term for the client, and then come up with solutions that can help the client by way of a roadmap. I'm doing the work for Abia State government, and they've asked for a roadmap, HR roadmap. So I've got to think 5 years down the line and then break it down into from now for the next 5 years. So that's developing long-term plans and how to achieve those objectives. Okay. As consultants, I mean, you're making recommendations. Your judgments must be sound. You cannot just make recommendations because you think it's a feel-good recommendation. It must be based on informed and balanced decisions in terms of your recommendations and decision-making. And then finally, here is evaluation. You must be able to evaluate every option. Every option that you are giving to a client, you must be able to evaluate it. You must be able to score it. This option is good. This option is 5. If you use numbers, you can say this option is very good. This one is good. This one is an average option. And then you present it to the client. So these are critical skills. Again, the tools to do all of this, we're going to show you all the tools to do all of this, and we're going to make it available to you. Innovation and decision-making and recommendation. Again, as we mentioned, you're going to come to situations whereby you need to come up with new ideas, come up with new recommendations to the clients, objective ideas that you're coming up and presenting to the clients. So it's critical that we are able to come up with innovative solutions. You're able to make decisions, and then you make recommendations. Very, very critical. And then the tools to do this. There are tools that will help us. So we're not just going to be saying, oh, do this, and then you cannot do that. Okay. So so this is the business case. I need us to study for about 2 minutes and then ask questions on this business case, and then let's see how we can approach it. All right. So let's see how we can approach this. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how we can approach this.
Yeah.
Ask me questions. Let's approach this together, assuming you're a consultant and this has been brought to your attention.
Okay, I have a question on the recommendations. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. We are not, like you said, we are not supposed to, if I understand very well, we are supposed to like give recommendations for the clients. If we are going to give recommendations, and is it okay to provide options, or we just make one recommendation for the client after doing all the project management, all the assessments, all the evaluations, and whatever? Why I'm asking this is that probably if we give 2 options, the client may not have enough funds to take option 1. So probably option 2 may also work for the client if the cost is less than the option 1. Is that okay? Is that a good approach?
Yeah, that's fine. There's what we call ideation ranking. I mentioned it last week. Solution ideation ranking, whereby you consider all costs, all factors, including costs, and then you present maybe 3, 4 options to the clients, usually 3 options to the client, and then you rank each option, and then the client will now make an informed choice based on you're not only making a suggestion to the client, you are also doing a ranking. So the clients can, I mean, all ideas are, all the solutions are good, but what you now give the client is the ability to make an informed choice based on your ranking. And your ranking is based on objectivity in terms of this option 1, option 2, option 3. So the clients will decide, okay, option 1 seems to be very good, but we can't afford it. Yes, we can go for option 2. Yeah, so you're quite right. So that's why we say never give a client a single option. You're not giving the client the flexibility to choose or to have choices. Okay.
Would the ranking involve the benefits, showing benefits?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Okay.
So each ranking will show, it's like a cost-benefit analysis. So you are saying option 1 is this. These are what you get. Option 2 is this. These are what you get. Option 3 is this. These are what you get. So yes, you're right. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Any other question, please? We need to deal with this question. Any other question, please? Any other question, please?
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Maybe as we proceed, there are other gray areas I want us to touch again. Maybe on the area of scouting for clients, but that's maybe much later in the course of the study. Thank you.
For now, that's I think that's module marketing, module 4, module 5. I'm building the steps now. I'm just building the steps. We started by introduction last week. Today we're looking at what are the skills, and instead of just talking about the skills, I'm trying to use that skill to solve a particular problem, and that's the problem we have on the screen. So yes, we will get there, but I just want us to focus on using those skills for today. Like I said, the first thing that we do is we define the problem. So let's try to define the problem. what exactly is the problem here? What exactly is the problem here? Let's define the problem. So the first thing you do once a client comes to you is you define the problem. This is what I said here. So that's the first thing. You define the problem. Step one to define the problem. So let's define the problem. What is the problem here? What can you see? What can you see as the problem? What can you see as the problem?
There's failing patronage.
Okay, is that a problem?
Yeah.
Does anybody agree with him? Is that the problem?
I don't think patronage is a problem. I think that it's about the presentation of the company to the society. That could be a problem, the way the public perceive the company or something like that.
Okay, that's fine. But from the statement here, you see, once you are faced with a problem from a client, stick to what the client has told you. Yeah. The second level is when we do our research. What might be the other problems? But from the onset, start with the information available to you. So here we have your client is a printing company and is increasingly experiencing falling patronage and revenue. Okay, so
yeah. In addition, please, from this statement,
good.
It means that the company was doing well before, but along the line, they started experiencing falling patronage.
Good.
And this may be due to delivery.
For now, hold on.
Yeah.
Just for now, don't. When you have a consulting assignment, like I said, the first thing is what is the problem. Don't go into the realms of this could be due to. No, that's not the first thing that we do as consultants. So the first thing is to define the problem.
Okay.
So always remember this: define the problem. Define the problem. Okay, so let's define the problem. Let's try to define the problem. So what is the problem here?
Falling patronage.
I think the problem is lack of patronage and loss of revenue.
Is that the problem? Is that the problem or the result of the problem?
Okay. That's serious.
But they are experiencing a falling patronage. Is a problem.
Okay.
Which
I think one has to find out what caused that falling revenue. I think that should be the problem. The patronage. What are the causes? Because it will not just happen like that. There must be a cause.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as I said earlier, when a client comes to you, they are telling you, oh, this is the problem I have. This is what you should do. Now, more often than not, the problem that they are telling you is what they are seeing. So what they are calling problem may not be the problem. The problem is basically what they're telling you is the result of the problem. So whenever a client comes to you, you must be able to define what exactly is the problem. Otherwise, you might be dealing with the consequences of the problem. Are we clear?
Yeah, I'm clear, but from the statement of that problem, right now, with your explanation, unless we deduce, we are seeing or we probe further with the clients, the problem here is not clear.
Good. That is the next step. That is now the next step. So from here, you come up with what? You come up with the problem. We want to come up with the problem statement. That is what we want to come up with. We want to come up with the problem statement. So it's critical that we're able to come up with the problem statement. Otherwise, if you don't define the problem, because you're trying to solve a problem, and you would basically go ahead and solve the problem as far as you are concerned that this is the problem. So that's why it's critical that we really understand what exactly is the problem. And that is what we're trying to decide this morning based on this. What exactly is the problem? Does it make sense? What exactly is the problem?
Yeah, like in this case, probably it could be their marketing department is not doing well.
Okay.
Probably
Yeah.
maybe they have reduced the quality of the products. Maybe they are not really reaching out the actual customers that they should reach and wherever. So those actions will cause the problem of the problem he mentioned now.
Good. Now,
Yeah,
your
so-
step 2. Problem. Step 2 is hypothesizing, hypothesis. That's step 2. Yeah, that is step 2. So here is coming up with a problem statement. Okay. So hypothesizing, what does it mean to you? When we say we hypothesize, what does it mean? Hypothesizing, what does it mean? We are discussing, I'm asking a question, sir. SARS and math. When you hypothesize, what are you doing?
You are trying to find out possible causes and effects.
Good. So you are basically coming up with ideas, reasons for the situation of the company. It's called hypothesizing. It's called hypothesizing. Okay? It's called hypothesizing. Okay? You hypothesize. So when we hypothesize, we are doing that because we don't know. So what's the next thing? Who can tell us what's the next thing? Who can tell us what's the next thing? Who can tell us what's the next thing? Suggest an answer. What's the next thing?
You prefer.
You prefer. Well, no, you don't prefer at this stage. You prefer at a later stage, but what's
okay?
You
test.
Okay, well, tests or what we call validation.
Validate, yeah.
Yeah, validation. Because you come up with different ideas. Oh, the company's marketing is poor. Yeah. The competition is better. Poor skills staff. All of these are hypothesizing. So the next thing to do is to test or validate of your hypothesis. Are you following me? So the next thing is to test your theory or your hypothesis. And how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you test your hypothesis? How do you test what you think are the root causes of the problem?
You may need to compare your hypothesis with the standard situation, what it ought to be.
Okay, good. That's a good one. Yes. Yes, anyone else?
I think you research, you ask questions. Probably you can even deploy questionnaires and do some opinion poll to find out if these things are affecting the downtown.
So good. You carry out your research. Please turn off your mic. Turn off your mic, please. Turn off your mic, please. Please, let's turn off our mic, please. So we carry out what? Our research. You do your research, you study documents, you do interviews, you can do physical, you can do inspections. You know, you can go to the company, you can do inspections, you can do interviews with key staff, you can read documents, you can do independent studies, read up materials, read up. Yeah. So you basically test your hypothesis. So once you finish that, what's the next thing? Who can tell us what the next thing is? You can look at all of these. These are clues. The clues are here. We mentioned this morning. What's the next thing? After you've gathered all your data, you've done your research, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Anyone?
Maybe you can have a strategy meeting with the clients for the clients to see what you have discovered so far, get some opinions that probably could affect your report. I mean, your observation for now. You could get more information from them, probably that you've not been able to gather.
That's part of your interview. Yeah, that's your interview there.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you've gathered all this data. What do you do with the information you've gathered? That's the question. What's the next thing you do?
We need to evaluate.
Fantastic. That is your data analysis. Ability to interpret the data to identify trends, pattern, insights. So the next thing we do is we do our data analysis. Yeah. So what is data analysis there is basically to gain an insight. So the data analysis will give you insights, root causes, root and actual causes. At times go cause and effect. Can we turn off our microphones, please? Please turn off your microphone. Yeah. Please turn off your microphone, please. Again, Mensa, please turn off your microphone. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So that will give us insight into the root causes and cause and effect. It will give us into the background. It will give us insight into the background. Yeah. Okay. Now, what do you think our step 5 would be now? Now that we have come with an hypothesis, we have tested it, we have gathered data, we have now analyzed data. What will be step 5 be? You can tell us.
Interpretation.
Okay, interpretation. Are we following everyone? Yes. Okay. So that will be your data interpretation. What is, what is data interpretation? Who can help us? What is
Actually,
data?
I was going to ask that question. What is
yes,
data?
what is data
How do you
interpretation?
interpret? Yeah.
Who gave us data interpretation, sir?
Having analyzed your data.
Mr. Bruno, yeah.
After having analyzed your data and then determined what the root causes and the effect, then you need to let your customer know the effects of the analysis you just carried out. Basically, that's what data interpretation means. I mean, what have you found out from your analysis?
Exactly.
Then you can go forward to draw your conclusions and recommendations.
Fantastic. Now, if you look at the first thing that you did was you hypothesized. You came up with ideas. You came up with reasons. And then we say, look, that is risky. Some people have, on the strength of step 1 and 2, they've gone on to make recommendations and then carry out the thing they're carrying out the assignment. It is dangerous because you have not tested your hypothesis. You have not tried to validate what you think the problem is. You have not tried to confirm what you think the problem is. That is why you go to step 3. You have an idea of what the problem might be, but let us test it. And that's why you do your research. You sit down with people, you study documents, you look at the market, you look at the industry, you do comparative analysis, you do independent studies, you do read up materials. Now, when you do this data validation, it may confirm step 2, your hypothesis, or it may negate your hypothesis. So that's your data analysis. That's what you do to test all this data. And your interpretation is now saying, oh, the data, the research we have carried out backs our hypothesis. The research we have carried out confirms our hypothesis. Or it could always be the research we have carried out does not confirm my hypothesis. This research, the interpretation, brings out fresh insights. It brings out the true root cause. That is where we want to be. Okay? This is where you want to be. And on the strength of that, you are now making your recommendation. Okay, you're now making your recommendation to the client on the strength of that. Are you following so far? So your recommendation to the client is now stating the results of your research that identifies the root cause or causes of the problem. Famin Azit Tariga, please mute your mic. Please, guys, always mute your mic, please. Famin, mute your mic.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll mute it. Okay, thank you, sir.
So, I'm just trying to make this. Okay, so your the data interpretation is results of analysis, basically. Result of analysis. Yeah. Are we following so far? And then what is likely to be our step 7? What's our step 7?
Recommendation.
Well, that's step 6 here. Okay, remember what I said last week. Consulting can be hold on, please. I said this last week. Consulting can be simply advisory, making recommendations, we call it providing solutions, and thirdly, execution or implementation. Please, can you see my screen? So consulting can be any of these 3. Yeah. So advisory sorry, I'm trying to do something here. Okay, so step 7 is what? Step 7 is what?
To advise the client on what to do.
Step 7 is your advisory.
Advisory, solutions, implementations.
Yeah. So advisory.
Then you're paid for the
and your assignment can end here. Your assignment can end there. That's why advisory, in fact, advisory is the bedrock of consulting, because you do all of this analysis. You cannot advise without doing all of this. You can't advise. Okay? So your advisory, and then you can have solutions or implementation as the next step. Yeah. And then you now manage the implementation. Yeah. Does that make sense? So you can end in advising the clients that after our research, this is what we find as the problem facing your company.
Excuse me.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay, at this stage 7, and the company wants you to stop at the advisory level, without going into implementation with them. Maybe they feel they can implement it all by themselves, but you know that letting them be the way they are, they may not be able to implement it to the later based on your recommendations. What do you do at this stage? Do you let them be, or do you insist that you carry on the implementation? Thank you.
You see, we cannot insist and we should not insist. We get carried away as consultants and we take ownership of the problem. It is not our problem. So you remain professional. This is what you have found out as the root cause of the problems. And that's the advice. And that is one. And that's how we lose money. So don't insist that you must implement, because they may not be ready to implement. They may simply want to find out what the problem is. They may simply want to get on record what exactly the problem is, and that is advisory. The next step after advisory, if they want to go ahead, is entirely up to them. Is okay, okay, you have identified what all the issues are. What is the solution? Okay, so your step, it can be your step 8. What is the solution? Or they'll say, what do we do? Or they can say, what next? Yeah, these are things you're likely to get from clients. So you can stop the consulting at advisory. You can stop. So that's what I'm saying. When you're approaching a consulting assignment, anytime a client approaches you, let them realize that the assignments can be delivered in 3 parts. So they can choose which parts they want. We can analyze the business problem you have presented to us. And that's one of the reasons why you must always be able to define what the client expectation is. So they come to you with the problem. So the question you want to ask them once they come to you is, what is your objective? What do you want to achieve? You presented as a problem. What do you want to achieve? Let us make it easier for you. There are 3 things we can achieve. We can look at the problem and we can advise you on how you arrive at the problem. That is one part of us. That's part 1 of our assignments. And we can end it there and simply advise you on how you go to where you are. That is called advisory. Now, after we have presented the advisory, you may decide that you want us to continue or not. It's entirely your decision. If you decide that you want us to continue, then we are coming up with the solutions. And we can simply come up with solutions and it ends there. If you say, look, you know what, I don't just want solutions, I want implementation, that again is a separate aspect of the assignment. Okay, so what I don't want you to do is make the common mistake of consultants who think—
Sorry, doctor.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. You said that's another segment of the assignment. Can you now ask for money on this as another segment of the—
No. That's what I'm saying. No. That's what I'm saying. From the onset, before you start the assignment, let the client know the assignment can be broken down into 3. In fact, before you even do that, you are asking the client, what you are giving us this problem. This is the problem you are telling us that you are facing. This is the problem they are facing. Well, where is the problem now? So in this case, this client tells you that they are experiencing falling patronage and revenue. So you can see that it is in 2 parts. This is the problem. This is what they want you to do. So this client is quite specific. So a client can come to you and say to us, can you tell us why we're experiencing, why the above? This is, they're asking for advisory. Yeah. The client says, we want to know how to solve the problem above. What is that? What are they asking for?
Solution.
Fantastic. Solutions. We want you to do a promotional campaign to reverse the above trend. What are they asking for?
Implementation.
They are asking for implementation. Yeah. So your first question is, what do you want to achieve? What are your objectives? Yeah. So what are your objectives? What do you want to achieve? Dr. Riwan, we just want to understand how we have arrived at this situation. What they're asking for is for you to advise them. Don't go beyond that. Just tell them how much it's going to cost for you to advise them. Dr. Riwan, we want to know, how did we get here as a company? Yeah. So that means you're charging them to come up with the advisory, and I mean, well, how did you get there is advisory. But Dr. Riwan, we want to solve this problem. Yeah, we want to solve this problem, or we want to come up with solutions that we may apply to solve the problem. That solution. We want to solve the problem is telling you to go all the way. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
So please, this is very important as a consultant. Many consultants tie consulting to when they solve the problem. No. From the moment that you carry out all the due diligence and you get to step 5 here, you can advise the client. You can start with advice. Yeah. If they say they want solutions, then recommendations, and then, I mean, you can now go through those stages. So please, 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 many consultants are out of pocket because they associate consulting with solving the problem. No. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any question, please? Any questions, please?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, sir.
Please, the advice and the solution, the difference, can you just highlight it a bit for me?
Okay. Give me a problem. Give me a problem. Just give me a problem.
Okay, so there's an issue I'm handling. The person wants me to do some background check for him. And so this one, does he want an advice or a solution to the issue?
He wants you to do a background check on candidates or what?
Yes, background check.
So he wants a solution. At the end of the day, what he wants is what is the end result. In this case, he wants the background check on specific candidates. So he wants implementation. He wants the full
slide on for me. Oh, sorry.
The full spectrum of service. If the guy comes to you, if he had come to you and said, sir, when we recruit people, how do we find out if their documents are true? What is that? Hello?
That's a background check. That's a background check.
No.
That's a solution.
No. Just listen to my question.
Okay.
The client comes to you and says, how do we, if we recruit people now, how do we find out that their credentials are valid?
How?
Yeah.
They have already recruited the people.
Sorry?
Have they already recruited the people?
They've already recruited the people, and they are saying that, how do we find out that their credentials are
That's advisory. That's advisory.
Advise them.
Fantastic. You advise them. Does that make sense?
Can I say something on that?
Yes.
There are many ways of finding out whether their qualifications, what they submitted, is genuine.
I'm not asking for solution now. We're not asking for solution. No. We're not asking for the solution.
Okay.
The client has come to you.
Sorry, I missed the entire discussion on that aspect.
Okay, somebody asked. Somebody
Yeah.
asked, if a client comes to you and says, "I need you to carry out background checks," is that advisory, solution, or implementation? When somebody says, sorry,
it's implementation.
Advisory.
That is implementation.
Advisory.
So the question that followed is, what is the difference between advisory and solution? That's what we are trying to do now. What is the difference between advisory and solution? Now, and so I said to him, if a client comes to you and says, "Dr. Rilwan, we are recruiting people. What is the best way?" Or sorry, we are recruiting people. How do we, or what do we do to validate? What do we do? Remember, is we, Mr. Solomani, what do we do to validate or to confirm their credentials? What is that? What is your solution? Advisory, solution, or implementation?
Advisory.
Fantastic. So you
No, it is implementation.
Sorry?
It is implementation.
Remember the question. The question is, we have recruited people. What do we do? What do we, the company that recruited, they're asking you a question. What can we do to validate it is, does that make sense? They've simply sought your professional opinion.
Yeah, to advise.
Yeah. So if the same company has said, Mr. Solomon, we want you to help us to identify how to confirm the candidate's background. What is that?
That's a solution.
Fantastic. You know, but when they come to you and say, "Look, Mr. Solomon, please, we have recruited these people. Help us check their background." What is that?
Implementation.
Fantastic. Can you see the difference?
Yes.
So the difference is a function of the objective of the client. Please always remember that. Always remember that. So once you come across a client, the first thing you want to be asking is, what is the objective? What of this assignment, this thing they are giving you? If it's not clear, ask them, what is this assignment that you are giving us? What would you like to see at the end? Oh, we just want you to advise us. Oh, we want to come up with the solutions. In fact, they may not break it down as advisory, solutions, and implementation. This is your responsibility as a consultant. And so once you come up with whether it's advisory, solution, and implementation, you check with the client. Oh, so you want us to advise you, or you want us to come up with solutions, or you want us to solve the problem. Always validate and check that. Because you can go ahead and give them all the implementation, and then you start calling them, let's implement this thing. You have given them everything now, and then you call. After a while, you stop calling. So let's be sure that we don't make those mistakes. Any question, please? Any question? Any question, please?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. And anyone else? Mr. Mensah, are you clear now? The difference between advisory and solutions? Again, Mensah, are you clear?
Yes. It was Alex. Thank you.
Alex. Okay, Alex, Mr. Alex. Yes. Oh, I thought it was again. Okay, Alex, thank you. All right. Any other question from anyone, please? Let's be absolutely clear. Okay, fantastic. So, okay, so this particular business case that
Okay, sorry. Before we go on, would there be cases where you see yourself doing all these three things? You are advising, you are giving solutions, and you are you are implementing.
Let me throw the question back to the class. Under what circumstances would you be doing all three, class?
I think it's at the stage of objective, depending on the objective.
When the client wants a solution from the beginning to the end.
Good. So, Mr. Alex,
because
it is not for you to decide.
Yeah.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, please.
It is not for us to decide. It is based on the instruction of the client. And if you are not sure, this is what you're asking. What do you want to achieve? At the end of this assignment that you want to give me, what is your objective? What do you want to achieve? What will success look like? What do you want to achieve? This question is very critical. Many consultants assume the client wants to solve the problem. Meanwhile, the client just wants to get an insight, which is advisory. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So it's not for you to decide, oh, on this assignment, this is what I'm going to do. Let it be guided by what the client is asking for. And if you are not sure, always check and validate with the client what the client wants precisely. Very, very critical. And a simple question to use is, what would you want to achieve? What are your objectives? If it's not clear. So for instance, let's look at this, the assignment that we're looking at. Let's look at the assignment. And Alex, and I'm going to ask you, Alex, can you answer this question? Can you see the assignment?
Yes, your client is a printing company increasingly experiencing filing patterns. Project design and implement.
So what is the client looking for here? Is it advisory? Is it solution or implementation?
I think you will do implementation.
No. What is the client asking for? You are the consultant.
He wants an issue to be solved.
Fantastic. What is that?
The challenge of failure of patronage.
So no, what is that? Is it advisory, solutions, or implementation?
It's a solution and implementation.
It is implementation. Okay. Are we clear?
It's implementation.
Yeah, thank you, Solomon. Are we clear? Is everybody clear?
Yes.
Yes, but I have another question.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Where the client is not able to say what they want, which I've experienced it a number of times, what do you do?
Okay, let's turn it back to the class. What do you do where the client is not sure of what they want? What do we do? How do we manage that? Class.
I think after going through all these things that we analyze, you still advise the client, look, this is my finding. What do you want me to do for you now? Because if you present your findings to him, the client may be able to now see, okay, so these are what I'm not able to understand. Now that I understand, I want this, I want that, I want that. I want advisory, or I want solution to the problem from the beginning to the end. I don't know.
Okay, class. Dr. Rilwan is saying after doing step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we can advise the client whether it's advisory solution. We can advise the client. Who agrees with that or who disagrees?
I agree with it.
Joseph Abiodun. Okay.
That's correct.
I think, for me, I think the basic thing in consulting is step 1 to 5. You know, you consider that as your job being done. Is the client that wants to go further should advise on whether you go towards step 6 or step 7 and 8 and 9. But the basic thing which applies to all consulting jobs is between step 1 to step 5. The client now determines if you have to go forward or not.
Okay. Any contrary view? Does anybody disagree? Does anyone disagree? Okay, my question is this. You do step 1 to 5. Who pays for that?
Basic is the client that pays. That the brief has to be very clear from day one.
Okay.
But he has not engaged you properly at this stage.
Come again.
I said, but at this stage, he has not engaged you. Because he has not told you what the problem is.
He has not told you what he wants.
You can't start anything if you are not engaged. He has engaged you. What I believe is I can break this thing.
He doesn't know what his problem is. The client doesn't know his problem.
And that's why he told you to please help me find out what the problem
okay.
is.
But to find out, you need to do something.
If you find out, you now advise.
Excuse me, class. Is it all the time that is only problem? Is the problem different from desire? Is the problem what of desire? What of challenges?
They are all problems.
They are all problems.
They are all problems.
They are all problems. They are all the background. They are the background to the issues.
Yeah, because if the client cannot define the problem, I don't think we can help the client.
Mm-hmm.
See, we can help. I believe we can help the client.
No, I think the fact that the client
what will happen
right now?
The fact that the client has approached you in the first place means he understands that there is a fundamental issue. Mm-hmm. So it's your job as a consultant to actually find out what the exact issue is, and then advise the client on how to go or what to go about it. Of course, you let him know that you let him know what your what the stages are. Does he want your advice on what to do? Does he want a solution? Does he want an implementation? You need to help the client to define what the problem is based on his brief. He may not actually know what he knows. He knows he has a problem, but he doesn't know how to define it. So you as a consultant should be able to define that problem and then come up with solutions to it.
I think another illustration to this may be from the medical field, because sometimes, though in clarification, well-defined industry of medical, even the first thing you want to see a consultant, you pay for even consultation fee. Then the next thing, if in the process of probing, compare with medical field, the next thing is to get to laboratory, medical, what's the issue? Go and test for this and try to really, what is the real sickness of this person? Mm. I'm just trying to link this with how it goes in medical field.
Okay. Who raised that question about not understanding this? Yeah, the issue we are discussing is step 1 to 5 is critical to have an idea of what the problems are. But who pays for step 1 to 5? At what point, and I like what Bruno said, at what point are you making this clear to the client? This is the process. At what point are you making this clear? Dr. Riwan.
Me at the beginning, I'll make it clear to the client. Look, okay, you don't know what the problem is. I'm going to look at it critically. As a consultant, we have steps. I'll go through these steps. By the time I get to the data analysis and wherever, I'll tell you, okay, these are what my findings are. So at this stage, I'm just going to advise you to understand what your problems are.
Good.
If you want solutions, I can go ahead and suggest solutions for you.
Good.
To look at the options. And after that one, if you choose the options you want us to implement, we can go ahead and implement. But for now, your problem is you don't know what exactly the challenges are. So we're going to find out all this for you. I think that's what I will do.
Okay, fantastic. Anyone else? Thank you for that, Dr. Riwan. Anyone else? Are we clear about the processes? You don't go into step 1 to 5 without letting the clients know, because this step 1 to 5 will take time. Imagine step 3. In fact, you're going to spend money on step 3. You're going to spend time back in the office on step 4. And all of this is money. Time is money. Step 3 is a lot you are investing in. You are doing research. You are going to clients. You are doing interview. You are reading up materials. You know, you are consuming your data. You are doing phone calls. You are visiting people. You are taking transport. You are traveling. All this is money. Of course, you can do desk research, but if you really want to get to validate your hypothesis, you've got to go out there. You can even visit the company. You can study them. All the time you use in doing this is money. So from the onset, you let the clients know your approach. That's why last week we talked about your framework of delivering services. From the onset, tell your client, this is how we deliver services, just like Dr. Riwan just explained now. Because most times, like I said to you, and I'm emphasizing this, when clients come to us, they are coming to us with symptoms, not necessarily the problem, symptoms, what they can see. So what they can see is what they consider to be the problem. And that may not be the problem. So you need to let them know that, look, we need to validate this to know the exact problem. And I can tell you for free, when you say this to clients, they think you're trying to stretch the assignment so that you can make more money. So I'm preparing your mind. Do not shy away from letting the clients know that the best process of solving a business case is to do due diligence. Your due diligence is basically to validate what the client has asked you to do, what the client has asked you to do. When I say validate, the client says you have now been approached to design and implement a promotional campaign. What if you design and implement an promotional campaign and it doesn't give you the desired results? It means you have not solved the problem. So the solution the client has brought to you may not have been the right solution. So it's critical that you yourself, you validate that problem or to validate the recommended solution of the client. Does it make sense? Number 2, it's critical to let the clients know that, look, yes, I'm not necessarily trying to stretch your work or trying to look for more money, but if we do not carry out due diligence and whatever you are asked us to carry out, and we carry it out and it doesn't solve the problem, we have lost money, we have lost time, and it does not solve the problem. So the reason why we are doing the due diligence is let us objectively validate or confirm that your solution is the right solution. And if your solution turns out to be the right solution, it's a win-win situation for you, for us, and for your clients. This is how you convince the client that, look, let us do this. It is good money spent. Because if we don't carry out that due diligence, understand the root cause, we may just be throwing good money out and not getting desired solution. Please, does that make sense, guys? Please, please, please. Does it make sense?
No.
Any question, please? Any question? I'm going to go further now. Any question at all? Any ambiguity? Anything you're not clear about? Are we all good?
Yes,
are we
we
good?
are.
Good, fantastic.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good. Now, looking at this problem now, this is the problem. So the client has asked us to, let's take this copy. Let's dump it here. So the client has asked us to effectively implement a solution. So the first thing we want to do before we implement this solution, what I'm simply saying is, do not jump at implementing the client's recommendation. You do your root cause analysis. And at this point, I'm going to introduce you to a tool. It's called the 5 Whys. Okay? I'm going to introduce the consulting tool. It's called the 5 Whys. Okay, so the 5 Whys is a systemic way of asking questions up to 5 levels. The 5 Whys. So we want to apply the 5 Whys. We want to apply the 5 Whys to this business problem. Okay, are you following me? So this is the business problem. 1 minute, please. Okay. The 5 Whys. Just a minute, please, guys. Sorry. Growth plus analysis. Analysis. This is 5 Whys. So the first why first, you can say first why. Why is the revenue of the company falling? Okay, that's your first why. Now, who are we asking these questions now?
The client.
We are asking the clients. We're asking the staffs. We're asking production. We're asking revenue. Yeah. This time around, we are not hypothesizing. This is the validation. This is the testing that we are doing here. Yeah. Step 3. This is step 3 here. Yeah. The first why. So what are likely answers? Can you give us likely answers? Can you give likely answers? I'm the consultant now, and you, the class is the printing company, maybe the accountant or the HR manager. So I'm asking you, I am doing my research now. Why do you think the revenue of the company is falling? I'm asking you, can we give 2 or 3 answers? 2 or 3 answers, please.
Poor motivation or low motivation.
Low motivation. Yes. Anyone else? Anyone else? Sorry? Anyone else?
The customers can also tell you they are making very little margins or profits from the business.
The customers.
I mean, you're asking questions. You're asking staff.
Yeah, I'm asking you. You are the staff now. I'm asking
distributors. You're asking everybody who has any.
Yes. All the stakeholders.
Okay. Effect of
low motivation.
Okay.
Effect of competition.
So competition. Yeah. Anything else?
Maybe poor marketing strategies.
Poor marketing strategy. Yeah, let's take one more.
But your question should not be limited to the staff. Your question should also include stakeholders in that business.
Yeah, that's why I said stakeholders. That's why I said stakeholders. So yes. Yes, anyone? Any more? That's why I said stakeholders.
Yes. You can also
think low profit margins. Low profit margins.
Taste and fashion. Taste and fashion. Maybe changing taste and fashion.
You can also talk of poor customer service.
Yeah, poor customer service.
All right, let's stop there. So we could come up with, when you do your research, you can come up with hundreds of reasons. But you need to group, the first thing you need to do is you need to group your reasons. You need to group your reasons. There's what we call the fishbone analysis. Who knows that? Fishbone analysis. Who knows that? Fishbone analysis. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so so please pardon my drawing. Please, just give me a minute. I'll be done with this. Please mute your mic. Please, please, please. Mute your mic. In a minute, I'll be done and we can continue. These are consulting tools now. I'm trying to give you two tools at the same time. What am I drawing?
Fish.
Fish from my town.
Okay, good. So we now have okay. Okay. So you can have a small fin. You can have a small fin. Okay, so hello, can you hear me? Are you with me? Hello?
Yeah, with
okay. Now the reason what I've done is
with you.
When you do your research, you need to group some of this research. Bruno said something very critical. Customers, different stakeholders. It could be marketing, it could be HR. So you can group this. You can group it. Let me just group this here. You can say this is a sales. The next one could be HR. The next one could be mute your microphone, please. Customer services. Customer services. Yeah. Each of these things.
I'm going. You see the baby tree? Yeah.
Please mute your microphone, please. I can't mute you from here. All right, thank you. So each of these could be problems under sales, HR, customer services. So under sales, you now have a different set of things. Yeah. So under sales, each of these things represent 3 different problems. Under HR, 3 different problems. Under customer service. So this gives you what we call the fishbone analysis of all the problems in this company. And that is derived from your research. You don't do this in isolation. You do this based on your research. Yeah. So you classify them. We call it fishbone analysis. So all the similar problems in sales are grouped in sales. And if it's customers, if it's external suppliers, sales suppliers, you can write suppliers and all the problems of suppliers, you can put it there. If it's technical, you write technical. All the problems on the technical, you write it there. Now, the 5Y is a single straight line of solving a single problem. The 5 Ys is a single straight line of solving one problem. But in reality, businesses don't have just one problem. Where's my 5 Ys now? Where's my 5 Ys? Ah, where is it? Yeah, that's my 5 Ys. So if you're going to use the 5 Ys, yeah, is a single straight line of using just one problem. So let's say what problem is low motivation. You say, first why that you ask is, why is the revenue wonderful? Somebody says low motivation. Then the second why will be what? Who can tell us? What is the second why? Who can tell us?
You ask why low motivation?
Fantastic. Why low motivation? Who can tell us what the third why will be? So what is the answer? What's the answer? What's the likely answer? So I'm asking you now, low motivation. Mr. Bruno, you gave us low motivation. So why is there low motivation in the organization?
Probably they are not being remunerated as expected. Remuneration.
Poor salaries. Yeah. And beyond that, there could be poor training or lack of training or training. You know, there could be so many things. So who can tell us what the third why will be? Who can tell us what the third why will be? Who can tell us what the third why will be? The
low
why
profit
question.
margins by their customers.
No, what's the third question? It's a straight line. Let's look at how we started. The step 1, the first
why poor salaries? Why no training?
Why are we paying low salaries? Does that make sense, Mr. Bruno?
Okay, this wise, we can go on and on and on and on.
I'm getting
even
there.
from
That's
that
why we call it
first why, we can go up to 20 why.
No, that's why we call it 5 whys. By the time you do 5 whys, you stop at 5 whys. Otherwise, you go into the territory of analysis paralysis. That's called over-analysis. That's why it's called the 5 whys. So why are we paying low salaries? Who can come up with an answer?
Low revenue.
Low sales.
Low revenue.
Is it low revenue?
Low yes,
revenue. Okay. Low sales. Good. Low revenue is a function of low sales, actually. Yeah. So low sales, or let's say low revenue. Let's so that we do a straight line. Low revenue. Yeah. Your fourth why is what? Your fourth why is what?
Why low revenue?
Why low revenue?
Fantastic.
Why low revenues?
Why low revenue? Yeah. What could the answer be?
Very low profit margins, low profitability.
Okay. Low profitability. we love to profitability. So fit why? What's the fit why?
Why low profit?
Okay, what's the likely answer? What's the likely answer?
Ourselves.
Fantastic. That is likely answer is what? Poor sales.
Poor sales.
At least that's for the sake of this exercise. Poor sales, yeah? Now, what has that done? What this exercise has done what? Vis-a-vis what the client has asked you to do. Is there any difference between what the client has identified as the root cause? In fact, the client did not identify the root cause, they identified a solution. So after your fit why, it is in solving this that you have a root cause. Yeah? And the problem of the company. Yeah? Does it make sense? So this becomes what you deal with, low profitability. My question is this. If you do promotional campaigns, which the client has advised you to do, would this solve this problem?
No, it will not solve it.
Partially.
Okay. Who believes that it will solve it? Does anybody believe to solve it?
Yes. I believe.
How would it solve it?
If it maybe the product is not well known to some of the potential customers. So when you do a kind of promotion, so promotional campaign, so it will expand the scope of the potential customers to be aware of the products. And you tell them what the product is all about.
Is non-awareness of the product, can it lead to low profitability, or will it lead to low profitability, or what other things might lead to low profitability?
I think this will just give a highlight of how to go about creating solutions to the problem.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Riwan, I agree with you. It goes to show that please be careful about jumping on the recommendation of the client. You need to validate it, and that's what we are trying to do. And secondly, this is just looking at one answer. Remember what we said here? Under sales, there could be several issues under sales. So just dealing with one issue under sales would not solve the entire business problem. So one way of identifying each strand of the problem, and don't go beyond level 5, please. Beyond level 5 becomes analysis paralysis, and then you just keep going on and on. So what we have looked at here is just looking at low motivation. And because of low motivation, we've been able to arrive at low profitability. That is a root cause. That they are not able to pay well because their revenues are not large, and is a function of the profit of the company is low. So that's why profit is low. So several ways. What we're now looking at is how can we increase profitability? So the solution is, how do we increase profitability? So the argument is, if we increase profitability, we have more money to pay staff. So how do we increase profitability? That is the solution here. This may not necessarily, implementing promotional campaign to attract back old and new clients may not necessarily solve the problem. So we need to focus on how do we increase profitability. So in any business, what's the basic strategy to increase profitability? Who can help us? Who can help us? There are two things to increase profitability. In fact, there are several things you can do. Who can help us?
You reduce the operating cost.
Okay.
You can reduce the operating cost.
Yes, reduce operating costs. Yes.
And then find more customers. Another one is find more customers.
Yes.
Sell
finding more customers. Dr. Riwan, you want to say something? Dr. Riwan? Dr. Riwan, are you there? Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, these are standard strategies in, yes?
Changing the brand of the.
Okay, let me introduce something here very briefly so that we don't talk about it anymore. Let me quickly do that. Just a minute, please. We'll close soon. I think I should have one standard one I should be using. Okay. Ansoff matrix is a matrix we use in business. And there are 4 solutions. I'm just going to introduce it now that we're talking about tools. Oh, come on. Ansoff matrix. Okay. This Ansoff matrix was developed as a tool to grow business. There are 4. The reason why I brought this up is because of diversification that someone mentioned. It is the riskiest strategy in business growth, diversification. That is going into something completely new. That's why I'm introducing this. So the easiest thing to do is what we call market penetration. Yeah. Market penetration is simply, 1 minute, please. Market penetration is, so market penetration is grow your market. Basically, what Bruno said, get more customers. That's market penetration. The truth of the matter is actually easier said than done, especially in a saturated or crowded market. So that might not be the best solution to your client. Another solution is called sorry, let me stay with markets.
Okay, market
development. Market development is basically, maybe you are in Accra. AC. Yeah, is that Accra? Doesn't look like Accra. You are in Accra, Ghana, but you open up new branches, for argument's sake. In other towns. That's an example of market development. Yeah. In other towns. Now, product development.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Is market penetration the same thing as market development?
No. Market, 1 minute, please. Market development is looking at new marketing opportunities beyond where you are operating from. Say, for instance, market penetration is you're in Lagos and you have 10 customers and you try and get 20 customers. That is market penetration. Yeah. Market development is you are in Lagos, you have 10 customers, and you are struggling to get extra customers. It may well be Lagos market is saturated. Then you now go to Ibadan or you go to Ota and open the same market. You are developing new market. Does that make sense? Now, product development
is a market segment under market.
Where does customer experience fall in this?
Customer experience cuts across all of this. It goes across all of this. So for market penetration, market experience is, okay, you know what? Let's give an example. You have 10 customers. And market penetration means you want to have 12 customers. So maybe the company comes up with ideas to attract more people. Instead of the 10 customers, you want to attract 12 customers. You want to attract 2 more. Where market experience, customer experience comes in is, it is that customer experience that might lead to these 2 new people joining as customers. Yeah. Market experience, customer experience in market development is, you are already in Accra, and then you want to open up in Kumasi, or you're already in Lagos, you want to open up in Abuja. It is the experience of people in these new markets that may make them come to you. That's market experience. Now, product development is, instead of one product, instead of basically increasing your product lines. Yeah, increasing your product lines. That's product penetration. Now, you can increase your product line in the existing markets. Say, for instance, you are selling toothbrush in Lagos, and you can't get any more customers to buy your toothbrush in Lagos. Maybe you're a distributor that is distributing toothbrushes, and then you have 12 main customers who are buying from you, and you are struggling to increase it to 13 customers who are buying your toothbrush that you are bringing from America, London, or UK, or China. You just have 10 customers, and you can't seem to get the 11 customers. Product development is, my 10 customers, besides toothbrush, I am now selling toothpaste. So not only you cannot increase the people that are buying toothbrush from you, but guess what? For these people that are buying toothbrush from you, you can introduce complementary products like toothpaste and say, guess what? Don't just buy toothbrush. I also have toothpaste. That is product development. Does that make sense? Hello? The last strategy.
Doctor.
We are with you, sir.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Hello, sir.
Let me finish.
What of building on existing products? Maybe.
Let me finish.
Is it under product development?
Let me finish and then we'll ask questions. Let me just finish it down. So diversification is, you know what? Look, I am tired of this market. We can't bring in new products. We can't bring in new markets. Let us go into completely new industry. And that is the riskiest as a strategy. Okay? So let me take your questions. Yes, questions, please.
Can we say leveraging technology also can help in this area?
Those are tools to do what? To market penetrate.
Yes,
to market development.
To market, to attract customers. And
those are tools. Those are tools you can use. That's fine. Yeah. You can use tools. I mean, of course, you need to do your research, and then you can use technology to do your research. Yes. Somebody asked the question about the difference between market penetration and development. Somebody just now.
Okay, under product development, that is, what of building on existing products? Maybe you want to rebrand it and make it attractive. Like what all this toothpaste, they change their brand and
to achieve what? To achieve what? These are what you want to achieve.
To attract, just to make the product attractive. and
It's just repackaging the product.
packaging the product. Yes.
What do you want to achieve at the end of it now? Why?
Now, just to because it is kind, we are facing competition, like a company facing competition.
Why, Dr. Oduto? Why do you want to do this?
To increase sales.
Good. To increase sales is market penetration.
Okay.
Do you understand? To increase sales, maybe, and then different strategies. You know, when they do buy one, get one free, that is, you're increasing what people are spending. So maybe they're spending 1,000 naira. You now add other products. They can, instead of buying 1,000, you had complementary products. They now buy 1,200. It has increased your revenue. Do you understand that? So the safest thing to do to grow your business is actually market penetration, because market development, going to a new market, is risky. You have not, it's a risk. Product development is developing new products, is a risk. So as you move from market penetration to diversification, when you're advising your clients, the greatest risk is diversification. The basic one you can do to help the clients to increase profitability is to grow their business, to get more customers. That's market penetration. In the case where markets are saturated, where you may not be able to get more customers, the Ansoff matrix suggests that, okay, keep your existing customers, but introduce a complementary product. So you're not moving, you're still selling in the same place. So that's market penetration and product development. Okay. Any question, please? Any other question? Any other question?
I believe there's another, but it's not part of, I don't know where we can group it. This market, market diversification or segmentation, market segmentation.
You can do, you can use market segmentation. You can use market segmentation to penetrate a market. At the same time, you can use market segmentation to increase your product lines. Okay? You can use those two strategies in any of these two. Yes. Any other question, please? Any other question? Any question, please? All right. Are we good for today? I'm going to stop here. There's a lot that we've done today already.
Yeah, it's been very interesting, actually.
Yeah. So let me summarize what we've done today, and then I can take your feedback. Yeah. So what I've looked at today is essentially what we call essential consulting skills. And what we really focused on was trying to look at when a client comes to us. Please, some key things I want you to take away is when a client comes to you with a problem, they're almost always coming up with the solution, what they think you should do. So please, the good consultants will say, sir, we need to validate what you have asked us to do. We need to validate it in the sense that we need to be sure that is the real solution. Because if we go ahead and don't validate it and then it doesn't solve the problem, you will not be happy. So let's do our validation so that we are sure that we are on the same page. Okay. And then we looked at, once you have that consulting solution, you have approaches. And our approach, one of the things we agreed on the approach is before you carry out this approach, let the client know. These are the steps that you take. And it involves costs. This due diligence that we're talking about will involve costs. So that the due diligence would do two things. It will confirm what is the root cause. And at the same time, we can advise you, we can provide solutions, and we can guide us in our implementation. Please, that is very, very key. Okay. And then we looked at different skills that a consultant is. You need to be able to analyze. What you have done this morning is mainly analysis, problem solving. And once you have done analysis and problem solving, you need to be able to communicate it to the client. You need to be able to communicate to the client. One major skill beyond that is ability to negotiate with the client or negotiate across board. Interpersonal skills. We talked about interviewing, going to the client site. You need these skills to be able to do that. Now, assuming that you are asked to implement your solution, you need project management skills. you need to be able to plan and organize the project of implementation. Industry knowledge. I keep saying to people, look, you cannot consult for industry if you don't know the market, if you don't know the best practices, if you don't have sector experience. And if you don't have sector experience, you can get a colleague to help you with that. Business knowledge, okay? Financial acumen, what are the contracts, what are the terms of reference? Very, very key. How do we get clients? How do we manage clients? These are business skills that you must have as a consultant. Marketing and service delivery. How do you sell your consulting service? That's module 3 or 4. How do you sell your consulting solution? How do you deliver services? How do you do your branding? In the next 2 weeks, I think we'll come to that. And then technical proficiency. There are business skills, there are technical skills that you need. Methodology. This is a methodology. What we looked at this morning, we looked at 5Y. 5Y is a methodology, is a tool. Root cause is a tool. You know, SWOT analysis, all those things are tools. And then critical thinking, innovation and decision making, these are critical skills you will need. Okay? These are critical skills you will need. Any question, please? Any question, please? Alex is just coming back to the class. It's 12 o'clock and I want us to wrap up now. Okay, thank you, everybody. Let me get my feedback. Femin Zitariga, what has been your learning takeaway today? Please, I need us to join if you are, so to make communication easy, I've been struggling with communication. Let me send you a link. Please join this class. Join the class at, I know there are several links that we have sent, but the official class is this. I'm going to send it to you now. Group info. Just a minute, please. I want to send this group info to everybody. Not everyone is on there. Invite group link. Copy link. So please, the class, the official class link is this. Where is the message now? Message, participants, message. Where's message? I want to put a message here. Sorry, I'm trying to put a message here. It's not allowing me. I'm going to put up a message and it's not allowing me. The chats. Okay, I've seen it. So please, the class WhatsApp group, sorry, I'm just trying to I'm trying to put up the class WhatsApp group. Please, that's the class WhatsApp group. If you're not there, please join the class WhatsApp group. It helps in communication. Please, that's the class WhatsApp group in the chat. Please join the class WhatsApp group there. Okay, Femin Azitariga, your learning takeaway today. What's your learning takeaway, sir? Again, Mensa, I'm coming to you. Femin, unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Again, Mensa, okay. What's your learning? Okay, Femin.
Yes, Doc. I was a bit late today for this, but I've at least grasped the approach to consultancy, and I've had the 9 steps that you need to follow. And I think we're on the last bit of the 9th step, and that is where we stop the class today. So okay. The rest of the things, I've seen them on the slides that we are rolling, and I'll easily go through them, and I think I can catch up easily. Thank you.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you. Again, Mensa. Again, Bruno.
Yes.
Doctor, Mensa, your learning takeaway?
Yes. The class has been very exciting, and it is also being very practical. So I'm very happy, especially with the steps. May God bless you.
All right, thank you, thank you. Mr. Bruno, are you there? Mr. Ladeji, Uruyemi, stand by. Mr. Bruno, are you there? Mr. Bruno? Mr.
Oh,
Okori?
I'm there.
All right,
I'm there.
Mr. Ladeji, let's have your feedback, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Bruno.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful session. I think my learning has always been impacted from the first session, and it's been impacted further again this session. And I'm so excited. Like I indicated earlier, it's something I want to continue after this first module.
Okay,
but
sir.
I want to ask a question. For those who decide to go toward the module 2 and module 3, are we going to have access to those presentations, not the video link, the main presentations that you shared?
Yes, that's what you're
going through.
That's what you're paying for.
All right.
Yes, definitely, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Ladeji, what do you mean? Good afternoon, sir. What's your takeaway?
Thank you, sir. Even with this knowledge, I'm already exposed to even negotiation aspect of consultancy. Even before taking up a client, you just have to agree on what stage and what stage, and the client must be responsible to pay for whatever stage. So I really appreciate the class today.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Abashi, Dr. Riwan Abashi, your learning takeaway, sir?
Yeah, well, my learning takeaway is that a consultant has to have listening skills. You have to listen to the client, understand what the client wants from you before you go into doing anything. It's only when you understand that you'll be able to start to bring, to analyze what the challenges are. So don't rush. If you rush, at the end of the day, you end up presenting something different from the desire of the client.
Fantastic.
And there are some skills that you should have, project management, communication skills, so that you'll be able to talk to the client in such a way that he will understand what you are presenting to him, if it is advisory, if it is solution, before you move into implementation. Don't assume that you have to do everything from the beginning to the end. When you analyze, you do the report, then from there you can take up the discussion with the client to see whether you are.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Ruan. All right, Mr. Olatunji, are you there? Mr. Solomani, be on standby.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. What's your learning takeaway, sir? In 1 minute, please.
Yes, I appreciate it, sir. And I've been able to understand that the client will always. Hello.
Mr. Bruno, switch off your microphone. Please go ahead.
Yes. Anis made a payment. 2496.
Somebody else is talking. Hello.
2496. 3 times.
Okay. Yeah. I should not forget the business aspect of the consultancy service.
Okay.
And it's also important to let the client know that the validation and all necessary analysis that will be done to find out the root cause of the problem, and he should be ready to pay for those services as well.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Solomon Ani, thank you, Mr.
Yeah, thank you very much. And
Yes,
I want to say that this is a very practical training. I appreciate so much the training so far. My take is that consulting is painstaking, and you don't need to do things by wishful thinking or wishing that this could be the solution for a problem of an organization. So there are principles, there are procedures, there are steps one has to take to get to the bottom of every problem in an organization, and then proffer either advisory or solution or implementation strategies in order to solve the problem. Thank you very much once again.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Lillian Kariuki. Lillian Kariuki hosts. Oni John Olarewaju, sir, please be on standby. Lillian, let's have your feedback, please. Lillian, are you there? Lillian, are you there? All right, let's go to Mr. Oni. Mr. Oni John. Joseph Abiodun Olarewaju, be on standby, please. Mr. Oni, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, my dear doc.
Yes, sir.
It's been so fascinating, and I said I was unable to join as soon as the program started due to network. But I can discover that most of the organizations prefer quick fix solution. Quick fix solution. But with the template, with the help of the template, you can put them to order. Providing quick fix solution to whatever they tell you of their history will now make you to fall a victim. And they will now, if they dictate to you, you should be able to reject and say that let us follow the right template. That will give them a permanent solution, whether advisory or implementing of the solution you give to them. That's my take for now.
All right, fantastic. Joseph Abiodun Olarewaju.
Oh, thank you so very much, sir, for
sir.
the helpful presentation. And I just want to say that now I'm having interest in consulting job by the way you presented today's your teaching or training. So what my take home here is that as a consultant, you let me know that I need to always do my due diligence. That is to understand the root cause of the problem and to validate the recommendation. Which is the key. We have to validate the solution and whether it is wrong or right before we give any recommendation. So also I also learned that for you now, the way to ask questions, we have 5 whys that will guide us in getting the root cause of the problem. And I also learned that objectives is so critical to our deliverables. So we need to look at the objective for us to be able to fashion out what to do to get the results. So I'm so grateful, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Jacob Eshun, Alex Khan, be on standby. Jacob Eshun, are you there? Jacob Eshun, are you there?
Hey, Doc, yeah, I'm here.
Yes, let's have your feedback.
Yes, I was traveling, so I couldn't hear all, but I learned the process of consulting and I enjoy the details of it. I've really enjoyed the details of it. So I'm taking home that when you be given an assignment on consultancy, you have to follow the process to the 9th point of the process. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alex Khan, are you there? Alex Khan?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, have your feedback, sir. Alani, Mr. Alani, I'm coming to you. Alex Khan, let's have your feedback, please.
Yeah, they need to understand the problem at stake. It's the crack of the issue. Because sometimes you have to help your clients even to understand their own problem very well. So my take home today is you must slowly and diligently understand the problem at hand.
Good. All right. Thank you so much, Alex Khan. Mr. Alani Odunton, are you there? Chief Alani? Hello, are you there, sir? Mr. Odunton? Okay, I think everyone has given us a feedback, or if I missed you out, Lillian Kariuki, I don't think we've heard from you. Okay. Again, thank you, everyone. I repeat.
I'm here.
Oh, Lillian. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Sorry, I have connectivity problem.
Oh, we have it all recorded. So
Okay, but it's okay. My feedback for me, what was very crucial was the analytical bit of the beginning stages of trying to put yourself in the shoes of the client and try and figure out what exactly is wrong. The whys were very significant for me. And as someone mentioned, it's very important to take time to try and analyze correctly, because now the client will be depending on my insight to help them as well.
Fantastic. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. I believe we've covered everyone. Is there anyone else I might have missed to give us a feedback? I think we've covered everyone. I want to bring the class to a close now. But before I go, again, I'm encouraging you, please join the class WhatsApp. Lillian, was that you? Somebody joined from, is that you? Join the class WhatsApp group. I've posted it again. It makes it easy for communication. Please, please, please. Join the class WhatsApp group. I've posted it several times. Only one person has joined. Please join so that you can easily communicate about the class. So please, on that note, I'm gonna thank you for today, and then we will see you again next week. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Femin. Thank you, Agemesa. Thank you.
Hello, Doctor.
Thank you.
Hello, Doctor.
Mr. Latunje, Solumanani, Lillian, Mr. Onijan, John Joseph Abiodun, thank you. Alex Khan, thank you. Alani Odoton, thank you, sir. Mr. Bruno, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you too.
So we'll see you next Saturday. All right, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Doctor, before we go,
Thank you, Doc.
again, the WhatsApp link again.
The WhatsApp link, I've posted it on the group chat. Check on the group chat, the meeting chat.
The group chats.
Yeah, check it. Can you see it now?
No.
I can send it to you directly. It's on the way. It's on the chat. Can you see the chat?
No.
Yeah, that's the link. Yeah. All right. I've sent it directly to you as well. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest
Doc,
of the
Doc, send it directly to me also, Dr. Oni John.
Dr. Oni John.
Yes.
I'm sending it on the screen here. Can you see it on the screen?
No, I'm on audio. I'm on audio.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me.
Don't send it to my WhatsApp. You see my name there.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, everyone.
And you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
God bless you, Doctor.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah.